Okay, good evening everybody and welcome to live coverage of round 5 of the Thrustmaster SimRacing ACE Championship. For the 5th round, we are here at Canada, a circuit that really demands a high top speed designed by Herman Tilke and features a clockwise configuration. Montreal consists of 14 turns, 4 long straights and extremely challenging corners such as the chicane at turns 13 and 14. It's especially important that the anti-currents aren't overused, otherwise you will have a one-trip ride into the wall of champions. Also, each lap has a length of 4.3 kilometers, and we'll have one race tonight, which is 56 laps. Canada can be notoriously difficult at the best of times, let alone driving in Formula 1 cars. It'll be a great test for all the drivers competing tonight. So without further ado, let's introduce the commentary team for this evening. I'm James Sadler, and commentating alongside me today in the commentary booth is Jeroen Kweekel. So how are you today, Jeroen?
Well, hello James, hello viewers, hello everyone around the world who is watching the broadcast. As you have mentioned, round 5 of this season. I'm feeling great and I'm sure you are as well. So after 4 rounds we have seen Daniel Kiss the whole time winning. But maybe today is not Daniel Kiss his day. He has said that he doesn't like this track, in fact he hates it. So maybe it opens up a few opportunities for other drivers, such as Rens Klopp for example, or maybe Godek, who is first in this practice session at the moment.
Yeah, indeed, and Daniel Kiss is 3/10 off Marek Godek, which is quite a considerable margin, so Kiss really does need to step up his game if he wants to go and get pole position. Definitely Giuseppe Ragusa has definitely improved and progressed over the course of this season, definitely up there in 2nd place, 47 thousandths off Marek Godek, so definitely from, I think we're going to say from Rens Klopp, who's in 7th. They're only separated by 4 tenths in this practice session, and then we will head to Q1, which will be a 10-minute session where the drivers have free setup and have unlimited fuel and unlimited tyres just to get into the top 10 for Q2. And then Q2, the drivers have 1 flying lap, so if they make a mistake, then they will start in either 9th or 10th, depending on who else has not completed a lap. And then there will be a 10-minute warm session where we'll have an advertisement from our Thrustmaster sponsor, and then we will have 56 laps of what should be exciting racing here at Canada, especially with them 2 DRS zones, which should definitely create some overtaking into the chicane at turns 13 and 14 and into turn 1 and maybe even turn 2 if you haven't got it done into turn 1. So definitely an exciting racing prospect, but let's now focus on qualifying, which we should be moving to in a couple of seconds.
We saw the first the first lap time here of this practice session is a 1:16.0 by Marek Godek. I expect a lot of guys to go into the 15s. We have seen a 15.3 from Daniel Kiss, for example. Throughout this session, the road will rubber up a little bit more, allowing the drivers to have a little bit more grip as well. But Q1 is almost on the way, as there are a couple of drivers lining up in front of that red light there. And in fact, on the left-hand side from the drivers, there's also a Formula 1 driver standing. It's Kimi Räikkönen, who's actually watching there at the exit of the pit lane. So, well, they surely want to impress him, I think. Let's wait for the light to go green, which should be the case now. There we go then. Q1 is underway.
Yeah, indeed it is, and I believe Rens Klopp will be the first driver to go out the pitch. Yes, he is. So we will go on board with a lap with Rens Klopp. So, Jeroen, how important is getting the right balance between top speed and downforce?
Oh.
Because, go on.
Yeah. It is extremely important around this track. This is one of those tracks where you can get away with low downforce, and this is one of the tracks where you can get away easily with high downforce as well. It all depends so much on how you build your car around the aerodynamics of the car. It really is very important. Like the mechanical grip side of the car needs to suit the downforce levels, and therefore also, as you have mentioned, the balance. It needs to be sorted out really well between mechanical grip, aerodynamic grip, and you can make a list. So this track is so interesting also with this back straight Rens Klopp is right now on. It's such a long straight, and they are reaching about 326 kph, something around there. Maybe the guys with extremely low downforce will even go above 330, but it is really important in terms of balance, this track.
Yeah, indeed it is, and we'll continue with that after Rens Klopp has completed a lap, and he's just now starting a lap into second gear. Takes a lot of the apex, good stuff from Rens Klopp so far, hugs the apex nicely, and he needs to get good traction. That's a little bit of oversteer, but that's okay from Rens Klopp. Now breaking down into third gear, again clips the apex nicely, gets a little bit of oversteer, so perhaps he's gone for a lower downforce setup. Breaking down into second gear, misses the apex slightly, but you can get away with it round there. So now heading towards turn 8, a really crucial part of the lap, because if you get it wrong you'll go over them anti-cuts and pretty much destroy your suspension. And Rens Klopp doing a fairly decent job so far, setting some quite good pace, and it's looking pretty fast if I have to be honest here. So now going around turn 10, and then he's now going to go around 10, 11, then 12, which isn't really a corner, but it's classified as a corner nevertheless. And now we're driving towards turn 13 and 14. Rens Klopp really does need to get this right, because if you do get it right you can carry a lot of speed, a lot of momentum, and gain a lot of lap time. So now Rens Klopp driving to the line. What time will this be for the Dutch driver? 1:16.1. A great lap from Rens Klopp there.
Yeah, good opening lap, but I'm sure it won't be the fastest of this race, or sorry, from this Q1 session. Prieto in the meantime, Guillermo Prieto, is also on a decent lap, and he sets the third timed lap, but Erasmus Juli goes right away into second with a 0.2. That's still Rens Klopp in first there. Let's have a look at Daniel Kiss. Is he currently on the lap? He indeed is on the lap. He's about the same time as Rens Klopp in the first sector, but the second sector is crucial. There's where you really can gain a bit of time. It goes quite deep to the hairpin.
Sorry, Jeroen. Godek is 0.3 faster than Rens Klopp at the moment. Sorry for cutting you off. We'll carry on with Daniel Kiss after Godek has completed his lap. He's now got his DRS open, and we will see what sort of lap time Marek Godek can do. Can he get this last chicane hooked up? And indeed he does so. DRS is now open for Marek Godek. Daniel Kiss has just gone fast. It's a 1:16.1, and Marek Godek does a 1:15.8. A fantastic lap from the Go Speed driver. And apologies, Jeroen, for cutting you off there, but just saw Marek and he was going really fast, so apologies.
Yeah, no problem. Marek indeed putting a purple sector time there. It was indeed sector 2 where his purple sector time came from. So that shows that second sector is important. In the meantime, Marek Godek is still carrying on. So that does show that he is carrying quite a bit of fuel, which is obviously good for him, because he's already got a 0.8 under the belt, a 15.8 under the belt, and he's still able to keep on going with a little bit more fuel. That means he doesn't show the best he has got yet. He goes over the sausage curb a bit, and I think he hit the barrier on the exit there. Maybe slight suspension damage for Godek, but he keeps on going for the moment. And having said that, he actually stops his car. So Francesconi is currently not driving. Is that down to a back of the grid penalty? I do think it is. Then we still see George Chatsipantelis, who still has to do a lap with 5 minutes to go. And here he goes across the line. He sets a 17.1, currently in 17th place. Goes back into the pit lane, but can do another run. As I said, the track rubbers up towards the end of this session a little bit more grip for the drivers, and so I do expect those times to come down a little bit and see more people into the 15s.
Yeah, that's definitely what you expect. Mike Ponson went up into 5th. Giuseppe Ragusa went up into 2nd place. A great effort from him. And just talking about Michael Francesconi, he's got back of the grid penalty for a late allocation. So unfortunate for him, but I'm definitely sure we will see him come strong in the race. So we currently have 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock right now, and is anyone going faster?
Yeah, have a look at Prieto. Yeah, Prieto comes across the line. Boom! Bob over first place for Prieto. 15.7, so indeed times are coming down. As you have said that he right away crossed the finish line almost. But having a look at that 10th spot, the cutoff time is currently 1:16.3, and Hodes is in that 10th spot, but it's pretty close around the 10th spot, has to be said. So coming towards the end of the session here, we need to start looking at that 10th spot. Obviously, top 10 advances to Q2. Currently outside of the top 10 is Mitchie Hoyer. He's coming though across the line now and improves up to 7th with a 16.1 And so Reyes now is in the danger zone with the 10th place. We do need to have a look at Hodes as well. And having said that, makes a mistake in the hairpin and abandons his lap, does he? I don't actually think he abandons his lap. Maybe he has some fuel left, I don't know.
No, he's still on a lap, so Hodes carrying on, but I'd imagine he's lost too much time and he's just not going to go faster. Unless it, yeah, I think...
Yeah, he backed out of it, so he has fuel for another lap then, probably. That's clever. Martin Hodes again coming across the line to do another lap. We'll have a look at his sector times. In the meantime, Eros Melshuli with a 1:16.0. Good lap from him, 3 tenths off Prieto. Prieto definitely having a good lap at the moment. Let's see where he gained time in comparison to Godek. Well, definitely not the second sector. In fact, Godek was faster than him in the second sector. Prieto was fast in the first sector, mainly. Also, the final sector was pretty good. And again, focusing on the 10th spot.
Godek. Let's go on board with Godek. He's currently 9 thousandths of a second quicker on a personal best lap, but he just lost so much time in that last sector. I'm not too sure what happened to him. Maybe he had some problems on the exit of turn 10, or maybe he just lost time in the chicane, but nevertheless, still, Guillermo Prieto, for fast and speed, leading the way in this first qualifying session. Can anyone go faster, and how will the track rubber in? How will it progress, and how much time will we see off what Guillermo Prieto has set by the other drivers? Definitely I'm expecting Daniel Kissel, Ren's Klopp to get up there, because I think they've only set, I think they might be on a lap in fact, and Ren's Klopp just set a lap, I think.
Yeah, same for Daniel Kiss, he just crossed the line, but he did not improve by a lot, which means he is still in 5th, and Ren's Klopp then in 6th, so well, not a good session, or not the best session so far for both Twister drivers there. And for us it would be good to see that actually, because obviously Daniel Kiss winning 4 out of 4 races is is enough for the spectators, if you know what I mean. It's obviously great for him and he totally deserved it, but it's also good for the spectators to see someone else winning. Anyway, we're still in this qualifying session obviously, and Alessio Campos in 12th position needs to improve as he comes through the final chicane. He's currently on the green lap, so personal best sector times for Campos. Bit of overstay there, maybe a bit too much of the curb, probably cost him a little bit of time, but can he get into the top 10? No, he cannot. 16.5, Alessio Campos is out.
I think what I can suggest from Campos is that he's running a more higher downforce setup, because he lost 2 tenths in that final sector and he's only hitting 324.9 kilometers an hour, which in fact Daniel Kiss has just jumped up into 1st place. So the track rubbering in, but even with Daniel Kiss not really liking this track, he's still going really fast. But what is Guillermo Prieto doing? He's currently on a lap, so Jeroen, do you want to take us through a lap?
Yeah, of course, Prieto currently on lap, as you have said, coming through the first sector, bit deep into turn 3, compromising his line for turn 4. Flat out through turn 5 though, as he comes around the first sector, braking very late there, turning it in. Look at the turn in on that car, that was surprisingly good. Car being very responsive, especially the front end. In the meantime, Reyes is still in 10th with a 16.3. It's all really close over there. I'm sure James keeps an eye out on that. As someone is in the wall, that was, I think, Reyes. So Reyes cannot improve anymore, as Prieto had nice sight of that crash. But it did cost him a little bit of time, and Prieto actually abandons his lap. So then it's looking, I think, at Hodes, who is currently in the 2nd sector. Hasn't improved in the 1st sector, so it's all about the 2nd sector. Oh, taking a lot of speed into turn 8 there. Probably compromised his line through turn 9. That was probably not the fastest way around that chicane, braking them very, very late. For this hairpin, goes a bit deep in there. And again, Hodes is making a few mistakes here and there, as George is currently in 10th. So was it Gobby who climbed up in the top 10? It might be. So it's all about Hodes here. If Hodes improves, Georges is out. Hodes set a personal best in the 2nd sector, but is it enough? Very close to the wall of champions there. Oh, the sprint to the finish, DRS will be wide open, but can he improve? Yes, he can, and he actually bumps Georges out of the top 10. But here comes Georges again, and Georges does not improve. Georges does not improve, which means Georges is most likely out. Yes, indeed.
How unfortunate for Georges. Go on, Jeroen.
I think he won't like that. I think he didn't expect that. I personally don't think he saw that one coming. But it is very close around that cutoff point. I mean, we see Fabrizio Gobbi with a 0.1, Hodes 0.1, Georges 0.1. He actually missed out by 9 thousandths of a second, which is obviously extremely close. But yeah, half a second off Daniel Kiss as well, around quite a short track. You know, remember that this track is only 1 minute and 15 seconds long. There's not a lot of time you can lose because it is such a short track. Though having said that, if you get the final chicane wrong, it can easily cost you 3/10 as well. But George is probably the surprise here, going not into Q2.
Yeah, indeed. So, shall we round out the top 10 for Q2? So, Daniel Kiss, Guillermo Prieto, Renz Klopp, Marek Godek, Michi Hoyer, Mike Partington, Giuseppe Ragusa, Eros Waskili, Fabrizio Gobbi, and Martin Hodas will all go into Q2, where they'll have one flying lap. And let's see who can get pole position. Surely Daniel Kiss is favourite since he's won 4 races out of 4 in ACE so far. But surely that has got to change anytime soon. Surely Daniel Kiss just go and win every single race in this championship, which would be an amazing achievement, would it not? But I don't think that's going to happen. So can we see a different driver winning in ACE? That would be nice to spice up this championship, because currently, I believe, well, obviously Daniel Kiss is winning. It's currently a Daniel Kiss is winning, but then his teammate Renz Klopp is in second. Giuseppe Ragusa's in third. Ruud Heestbeek is joint third with 84 points. Passes Georges is in fifth on 76. So as we were saying, I'm pretty sure he was disappointed not getting into Q2, because he's had a really good season so far, winning the Chinese Grand Prix, but then got that win took away from him due to cutting infractions in the post-race checks. But nevertheless, Martin Hodas in 6th, Fabrizio Gobbi in 7th, Michi Hoyer in 8th, Marek Godek is in 9th, and in 10th, it's joint 10th with Timo Valkeabi and Mike Partington. That is currently the Drivers' Championship before this race, and then obviously it will change when this race is complete. So can Daniel Kiss win another race? Can he make it 5 out of 5? Or will Guillermo Prieto, Renz Klopp, or even Marek Godek take a win here? We'll have to see as we now move into Q2.
Yeah, I personally think it's a little bit stupid to keep talking about Daniel Kiss. I mean, it's the same story all over again, as Eros Masuli goes out straight away and is probably going to set the first lap here. I think it's it becomes a bit of the same story all over again. You know, we said it previous round as well. You know, can someone beat Daniel Kiss? I think Godek was pretty close in quali, and we said maybe he gets challenged, but in the end he still ran away with it. So I think it's a bit pointless to to keep having conversations about it. We'll see how it develops in the race. Daniel Kiss once again though surely looking strong. But as I said, I think it's a bit pointless to discuss about it. I mean, we have done so the last 3 rounds or so. So yeah, let's also focus a bit on the other drivers, such as Eros Masuli. Eros Masuli actually has the fastest lap of the server since the server has been active. So also the practice sessions before today. So you know, it includes yesterday, all those things. Masuli has actually set a 15.3, which is about 600 quicker than Daniel Kiss. So Eros surely having the pace, but does he also have the coolness? You know, can he keep down his nerves, keep calm, and set a good lap here? He only gets 1 lap, as every other driver does. So he needs to have his tires warmed up here, his brakes warmed up, as this track is really tough on the brakes. And then we'll see what Eros can do. And he's got 1 more chicane in front of him before his lap is going to start. Here we go, bumping over those curves, and Eros Masuli is the first time then, or the first car then, to set a lap time here. Here he comes through the first corner, brake very, very hard down to second gear, hit the apex there, goes a little bit out of shape for turn 2, it compromises line slightly, down to first gear, get on the power again, very hard of course, and then you come up to turn 3, brake after the one on the me board, down to third gear for Mashuli, bumps over those curves, oh, hitting the barrier there, I think, no issues though, the concrete wall was it rather, slow the car once again down for turn, oh, you saw that he went deep, compromising turn 7, was turn 6 where he went too deep. Now heading for turn 8, goes underneath that bridge. Got to find your brake marker with all those shadows. Slows it down nicely for this corner though. That was sweet, a much better line for Eros through there. But certainly this will not probably be our pole position time. In the meantime, Gobby already went 2 tenths quicker in the first sector than Eros Mashuli as he comes through the hairpin. That was sweet, good rotation on that car. Has to be set once again hard on the power. Now this back straight, a little bit of a rest for Mashuli. Get his head together, the DRS will be wide open. Let's have a look at his top speed. Gobby also purple as sector 2 at the moment. 322 for Eros Mashuli as he slows the car yet again down again. Goes a bit deep into turn 13, compromising his line for turn 14. Again hard on the power though, DRS wide open for the sprint to the line. The 16.3 is the opening lap here.
Great lap. Well, it's not a great lap, to be honest. Unfortunate for Eros Mashuli and Fabrizio Gobby. What lap time did he set? My rFactor 2's just crashed, so not
he set a 1:16.0. So Gobby currently in first position. Is anyone else going quick? Of course there is someone going quick. Who else is it? Then Daniel Kiss, 325 kph as he again goes. Oh, that was a lot of bravery as he goes into turn 13 and 14, I wanted to say. He comes across the line and goes pole position, but only with a 16.0. That is 4 tenths off his Q1 time. Remember, as Mitchie Hoyer is also on the lap at the moment. He just started one. The next guy to cross the line is Prieto, but guess who's going purple in the meantime? Marek Kodak. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2 is about 1.5 tenths up on Daniel Kiss at the moment. Guillermo Prieto in the meantime though, coming through the hairpin, or sorry, the chicane rather. You saw that? You saw how much less bravery he took into that corner. That Daniel Kiss nonetheless starts his lap, and he took less bravery because he only started his lap. That was my fault. Very sorry about that. And indeed, Marek Kodak goes pole position. He lost a little bit of time in the final sector though, but he does go pole for the moment.
Yeah, it's a good lap from Godek, and apologies to Eros. That was actually a good lap time. I thought the drivers would be going a little bit quicker, but nevertheless, let's have a look at Guillermo Prieto. He's currently in the first sector, a 10th off at the moment, so just goes over the curb, so it doesn't get the best traction out of turn 7. Now heading towards turn 8, he's going to brake underneath the bridge and gets the apex nicely. Doesn't get the best line, but still a good nevertheless. So now heading towards turn 10, breakdown into first gear, hugs the apex nicely, doesn't actually touch it but gets a good drive out of turn 10 through turn 11 and now through turn 12. DRS open. What top speed will Guillermo Prieto achieve? 325, hitting the rev limiter. Whoa! Oh, Prieto just took too much of that anti-cut then, and that's cost him a chance of pole position. How unfortunate. Prieto was on a really map, 97 thousandths of Marek Godek, and it just cost him in the last sector going over them anti-cuts. Now let's have a look at Rensklop. Currently going through 13 and 14, gets it better than what Prieto did. So can Rensklop take pole position off Marek Godek? Yes, he can. 1/10 quicker than Marek Godek. A great lap from the Twister Racing driver. And I believe Michi Hoyer is the next driver to come across the line. He is going, yeah, indeed, he is going faster than Rensklop. Can he get the chicane? Nope. Top, he's clipped the wall. And I think that is pole position gone. It's 5 margins. But what time will this be for Hoyer? He goes in front of Godek. So it's second position for Hoyer at the moment. The last driver to come across the line is a Ventus SimRacing driver, Martin Hodas, and he's now driving to the line. DRS is open. He's the final driver to complete the lap, and he goes up into 5th place. So definitely a dramatic qualifying session, and with Rensklop, I believe that's his first pole position in ACE. So showing what he had in Pro, where he was dominant in Pro last year and doing a great job. But Daniel Kiss only in 4th place, but still can make up a good amount of time in the race, which will be 56 laps. And do you know what I found interesting is that Hoyer has got a top speed of 329. Hoyer has got a top speed of 329 as well. But there's different setups from the drivers. Some are going for higher downforce and some are going for lower downforce. If you go for higher downforce, then you're going to save your tyres. But if you go for lower downforce, then obviously it's going to help you in the race to go in advance and get the best position possible. It'll be interesting to see who's gone with the best strategy. And I believe we'll now go with our Thrustmaster sponsor with one of their flagship products, which is the T300 RS. So be back in 2. Okay, hello and welcome back after our Thrustmaster sponsor, and we're currently in this warm-up session with 7 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, with the drivers just getting used to the heavier fuel loads which they'll be using for the race, which is around 170 litres. And in Canada there isn't actually too much fuel usage here, so fuel shouldn't be a problem. And in fact, it's not too of a long race here in Canada, but it'll be interesting to see who gets the best strategy and who wins this race. Congrats to Ren Scott for getting on pole position, and in fact we will have an interview with him at the end of the race along with Ruud Heasterbeek and Paschalis Georgis. So hopefully we can get some questions to them on how their race went, and hopefully they all have good races. In fact, hopefully all the drivers have good races. So currently in this warm-up session we may as well look at the Constructors Championship, and then we'll discuss on strategy and what we can expect here at Canada. So currently in first place in the Constructors is Twister Racing, followed by in second place is BBR Life for Racing. In third, Abercrombie Racing Blue Team, that's their second team. And then in fourth, Lovrel Eventer SimRacing and GS Engineering, which is GoSpeed's second team. In fifth, Abercrombie Racing's main team in sixth. Eventer Pescara is in seventh. GoSpeed Racing's main team is in eighth. Faster Than Speed are in ninth. And Comunidad, which is a Spanish team, is currently in 10th place. So currently Manik Godek is currently fastest. He's done a 1:18.7 in the swarm session, and Daniel Kiss is 5/10 thereabouts slower than Godek. So Jeroen, what sort of strategy could we expect here at Canada? Around a 2-stop, do you think?
Yeah, most likely a 2-stop. I don't really expect anyone to do a 1-stop here. Yeah, so it will probably go down to a 2-stop, and then it will be soft, super soft, super soft, or super soft, soft, super soft, whatever, for the people who are good on their tire wear. But well, we haven't really talked about Daniel Kiss that much. He qualified in 4th position. This is going to be a challenge for him. He finds himself around that 4th, 5th spot. Obviously, it will be 4th, but who knows? Maybe he will lose a place at the start. That would even throw things up a little bit more. But let's see how he does this race. It's a little bit of a different environment for him right now, starting from that 4th place. Let's see how he does at the start. I think it's not very easy to gain a few positions here at the start. Maybe in turn 2, if you can have a better line than someone else and outrace him, or be a little bit clever and take a different line into turn 2. It can all be possible, and see what Daniel Kiss is made of, and hopefully we'll see a little bit of racecraft from him as well, because we've seen him mostly driving out on his own, out on his own, at the front of the pack. But this time he finds himself in the pack, unless the top 3 crashes in front of his nose in the first lap straight away. But I don't see that happening. So I think Daniel Kiss is gonna fight for this one a little bit harder, and well, let's see what he can do.
Indeed, let's see what his race craft is, and I think a 1-stop isn't possible, and I think a 3-stop you just lose too much time. So definitely a 2-stop is optimal in this ACE race. Who's going to undercut each other? We'll have to see. Currently the tyres for this round are the super soft tyres, since the tyre wear isn't that great here at Canada, but definitely other tracks like China, where the left front takes severe punishment. It's more the rear tyres, because it is a rear more demanding track than the front tyres, because obviously you've got less downforce and you've got to get smooth exits out of each corner, like with turn 7. That is going to be quite a difficult corner, I expect, in the race, because I believe we just saw Fabrizio Gobbi go off on the exit of turn 7. Hopefully we don't see any incidents, and hopefully we have some good racing here in ACE.
Well, it's actually good that you bring up that subject. The exit of turn 7, exit turn 9, exit turn 10, the hairpin. Those are all extremely important traction zones. Also, don't forget the exit of turn 2. It's also such a rear demanding track here. It requires so much from the traction. But obviously there comes a point in the race where the rear tires just lose grip. They can't keep up anymore with the power input you give, and you've got to adjust your driving style to that. You cannot put as much power down as you have done before, and if you do that, you're going to spin. And with these Pirelli tires, usually that point where they start to deliver less grip comes very sudden, so it can sometimes here and there surprise a driver. And in that case, he might have a big oversteer moment or lose the car completely. Who knows? But as you have mentioned, and indeed, good point that you bring that up, is the rear, especially around those traction zones, and also, as you have mentioned, exit of turn 7.
Yeah, indeed. So it'll be interesting who can keep their tyres in the best shape, because it will be key later in the strategy. Because you can advance a lot of time if you've been more considerate on your tyres and more conservative, and just treated them a lot better than what some more aggressive drivers will treat their tyres. So to prevent it, you need to not cup your tyres and just be a lot more careful on the power. So now, with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this warm-up session, we will head to the race of 56 laps of racing, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of tyres the drivers behind the top 10 will select. You'd expect them to go on the soft tyres to try and do a different strategy to the rest of the competitors, and then have some really good pace at the end of the race with the fresher super soft tyres, but we'll have to see who can do that. And also when we go to the race we will run through the grid, so hopefully 56 laps of racing around a 4.3 kilometer track, with around the average time I'd expect in this race to be around a 1:19 to then go into the 1:18s and then into the 17s come the end of the race. That's what we expect to happen, and we'll have to see what happens. So currently 22nd o'clock, and currently Marek Godek 2/10 faster than Daniel Kiss in this warm-up session.
I would honestly not be surprised if quite a few drivers actually go for a free stop if they feel like a two-stop isn't working or being held up or whatever. They need to try something different. It's a relatively short pit lane, especially because you completely obviously ignore the final chicane as you come into the pit entry, and then you also ignore the first corner when you exit it. So it's a relatively short pit stop, talking in actual pit time. So we might see a few free stops here and there. I also hope that most drivers keep it calm for the pit entry, because you approach it with 310, 320 kph, and you need to slow it all the way down, obviously, to 100 kilometers an hour in time and activate that pit limiter. But I do expect these drivers to, be cool and have no issues with that. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to elaborate on your point with the 3-stop. Of course, if you're struggling and you're stuck behind someone, then you really do need to try something else. But definitely a 2-stop is the optimal way to go.
Yeah.
Because a 3-stop you may just lose too much time, and in fact you may come worse off. But we'll have to see what the drivers do. But Daniel Kiss topping the timesheets, and look at that. First to third is Daniel Kiss, Marek Godek and Rens Klopp, all separated by 42 thousandths of a second. So currently a twister sandwich at the moment, but Rens Klopp will start on pole position, and then we will run through the grid here at Canada. So we should have some good racing here. I have to say the track does look really good on rFactor 2 and indeed the broadcast, so hopefully everyone is enjoying it, and we're now going to move to the race. And also, if you have any questions on the broadcast, make sure you use hashtag ask the commentator, and then we will get your questions asked.
We see Marek Godek being up there quite a few times, but never really was there in the race. He always had some kind of problem or made a mistake, whatever, didn't have the race pace. I'm looking forward to see what he can do today, starting in that 3rd place, but also Mitchy Hoyer finding himself there at the top. And that is something nice to see, a name such as Mitchy Hoyer up there. Also interested to see what he can do, but also Godek, he's been up there in terms of raw pace, raw speed. He needs to do more than that if he can. But anyway, drivers are going and do that formation right now, except for Thomas Severly, who is in the pit lane. So Severly probably going for a pit lane start. Nonetheless, Rens Klopp here in 1st position. His first pole, I think, definitely of the season, but also of his ACE career. He drove a few races last year in ACE, but I'm pretty sure this is his first pole position. In 2nd place we find Mitchy Hoyer then having a good lap, but I saw, to be honest, in the practice already that Mitchy Hoyer has quite a loose rear end. I don't know if that was just because of his driving and he sorted that out, but he had quite a bit of oversteer usually on the exit of corners, so it'll be interesting to see if he can save his rear tires. Marek Godek in 3rd place, Daniel Kiss, the championship leader, in 4th place for Twister. Martin Hodes in 5th, also being up there quite a bit right now. Let's see what he can do in the race. Fabrizio Gobbi in 6th, Guillermo Prieto in 7th, Mike Partington in 8th. I also expect quite a bit from him in this race. He seems to be, pretty consistent. Eros Masciuli in 9th, Giuseppe Ragusa in 10th, and James, if you are able, please take us through the rest of the grid.
Of course, we'll join. In 11th place is Pastas Georgis, Miguel Reyes is in 12th, Alessio Campos is in 13th, George Sajbantelis is in 14th, Tom Sadler will start from the pit, Ruud Heesterbeek is in 16th, Christy Young is in 17th, Dominic Renting is in 18th, Arginus Ria is in 19th, and Michael Francesconi, starting at the back of the grid for a late allocation, is in 20th place. So Francesconi is on the soft tyres, as is Chris de Jong, as is Heasterbeek, as is Sadler, and that and the rest of the grid are on the super soft. So Jeroen, do you want to take us through the start?
Absolutely, we're waiting for Michael Francesconi. He comes around the final chicane right now, comes through the grid slot. Rensklop obviously already waiting there for quite a long while, staring at those lights and waiting for them to go on. It's Saturday, the 30th of May 2015. We see 5 red lights and they are out right now and the race is underway with Rensklop having a good start, staying ahead of Mitchy Hoyer in the first turn. Daniel Kiss in the meantime though, having to defend from Martin Hodes, but everything goes fine over there. I don't see any incidents so far as Rensklop goes through first couple of corners and is still in the lead. No incidents so far though, that is great to see. Marek Godek still in first. So no position changes in the top 5 and a crash behind in turn 3.
Sort of similar to what happened in Pro last year where it was red flagged, and but obviously it's not going to be red flagged in this session, but unfortunate for Ragusa. Had such a promising start and he's just dropped down into 20th. Unfortunately, I believe that, who's that Abercrombie racing car in the background? He's gone off his Dominic Renzi. And I'm not too sure what happened to him. Perhaps he went into the wall. So that's putting him down into last place in 20th place at the moment. And I believe, where is Thomas Sully? Thomas Sully has managed to get himself up into 17th place. So from starting in the pit. So all clean at the start, apart from that incident in turn 3. So good job from the drivers so far, with Rensklop a 1 second gap to Mitchy Hoyer, and obviously Klopp doesn't have to go through the dirtiest since he's in first place, so he's got some nice clean air, so won't heat up his tyres with because of the dirty air, because obviously he's not in it, so he'll have better tyres and able to keep a good pace as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. So currently the order as it stands on lap 2 is Rensklop, Mitchy Hoyer, Marek Godek, Daniel Kiss, Martin Hodas, Fabrizio Gobi, Guillermo Prieto, Mike Partington, Miguel Reyes and George Chatbantelis round out the top 10 here at Canada.
George will be very, very glad with his first lap. He made up quite a few positions, finds himself in the top 10. So he will be, as I said, very glad with the way he went in the first lap. What Rensklop immediately pulling a gap to Mitchy Hoyer, who seems to be not able to keep up with Rensklop at the moment. It's crucial here for Rensklop to break that DRS window and keep Mitchy Hoyer behind him by over a second, which he does so beautifully right now. In fact, already after 1 lap, as you have mentioned, already a second ahead, as Daniel Kiss is knocking on the door on Godek. Here we go, Daniel Kiss on the back of Godek. Does Godek go defensive? He does go defensive. Daniel Kiss is going to have to go around the outside. I tell you, that is not possible here. Do not go around the outside there, seriously. Going side by side into there is going to end up in tears, and Daniel Kiss knows that very well and backs out of it.
Yeah, good driving from both of them, and you're absolutely right with Jeroen, because if you go on the outside you'll hit that anti-cut and then you'll just have an accident with the guy who was on the inside and you go into the wall of champions, and that's not what we want to see. So currently on lap 3 at the moment, so the laps climbing down quite quickly here at Canada. But now we're going to have DRS. So now what can the drivers do with DRS? Can Daniel Kiss overtake Marek Godek with the DRS? He's in the DRS window, but the first DRS zone that you will see is on the back straight heading towards turn 13 and 14.
I don't think Marek Godek will have DRS on Mitchy Hoyer, although it does look rather close. He wasn't close enough after the first sector, but I think Hoyer made a mistake in the second sector, and Godek indeed having DRS. Godek will be happy with that. I'll tell you why. Godek is way too far back from Hoyer, obviously, to overtake, but he will use the DRS here as an effect, to defend from Daniel Kiss. If he doesn't have DRS here, Daniel Kiss will close him down a bit easier, I should say, and he cannot do that right now. Coming through the start again, does Rensklop though.
Dominic Rentin has just gone off. I'm not too sure what just happened. I'll have a look on the replay, but look at his steering wheel angle. He's having to put it at, I think he needs to park that car.
Wow,
so unfortunate for him.
Great pit entry.
Yeah.
That was very exciting, well, scary moment for him, I'm sure. Someone who is very unlucky so far is Giuseppe Ragusa. I think he had some kind of suspension damage or something. He's driving all the way at the back. And indeed that front wing doesn't look exactly healthy. Three front wing end plates missing there. And as you have mentioned, Ragusa doing quite a good job. But right now finding himself all the way in 20th spot. In fact, Dominic Renting is right now in 20th. I think Dominic doesn't want to give up yet. He is in the pit lane, but obviously does have probably heavy suspension damage.
I'm not sure what happened to Dominic Renton, or I've just got a lot of lag on the replay, so not too sure what happened to him. Perhaps Sam Jones or Caraman has managed to see what happened, but unfortunate for
Rensklop again coming down the straight here. And opening up a 2-second gap to Mitchie Hoyer. Mitchie Hoyer losing quite a few tenths, I think, on that last lap. Rensklop purple as well, 1:18.6. What a decent lap from Rensklop that is. That is 4 tenths quicker than Mitchie Hoyer's fastest lap. And on the last lap, Rensklop actually put away another 4 tenths on Mitchie Hoyer. So Rensklop looking rather strong here around this track, has to be said. And also keep... Oh, sorry. I thought that Godek went off. I seriously did. Godek going on the grass for the braking of turn 6. That is just, I don't know, it cannot be the nerves really. It is lap 4, you are now into this race, you need to find your rhythm. I think it's just a lack of concentration there a little bit from Godek, going too much to the right hand side, being on the grass for the braking, locking his front tires a little bit. And it is actually an interesting point here around this track. I believe that this track has or reflects the driver's inputs really well. If a driver is aggressive, you will see that in the tire wear, seriously. If a driver is too aggressive around this track, you will easily see it in the tire wear. The tires will degrade a lot quicker, more than any other track so far of the season, in my opinion. So it's important for every driver to keep it smooth, and especially lockups really influence the tire wear a lot around this track, especially with those very soft compounds.
It's a really fantastic tyre model from ISI, who made this mod and also made rFactor too, so credit to them for it. And now currently on lap 6 with Rensklop. Nice to see a different twister driver leading the way, but no discredit to Daniel Kiss at all, because he has done an absolute fantastic job. But for commentators and viewers alike, it's just nice to see a different winner, as you don't really want to see the same winner week in, week out, like with Sebastian Vettel before the rule changes from 2010 to 2013. So currently on lap 6, not too much action going on at the moment, but this train for second place is taking place. So Godek's going to have DRS on Hoyer, but Kiss will have DRS on Godek, but that will neutralise the DRS effect. And look at that, Godek trying to get past Mitchie Hoyer, but now he's going to go down into turn 1. He needs to get a good exit out of turn 14. DRS is now open, and he will head down into turn 1. And I think he's just too far away to go and have a look on Mitchie Hoyer into turn 1. And yes, so another lap. This train stays the same as Hoyer goes deep into turn 1 and then gets oversteer on the exit of 2 and now heading into turn 3. So definitely Hoyer has gone for a lower downforce setup, because he's struggling with the rear end, as we talked about before the race in the warm-up session. And now Godek seems to be having a better drive than what Hoyer is, but still Hoyer remaining in second place. So good job from Hoyer and Godek, as well as Klopp and Kiss and everyone in the top 10.
And Godek's still very glad that he gets DRS. He really needs it in order to defend from Daniel Kiss, who remember is knocking on that door as well. Here we go again, coming through the hairpin. Godek is losing a slight bit of time through turns 8 and 9, I think, and Hoyer again not looking too great for the exit of the hairpin. It's mainly the exits where he's sometimes struggling. It's all down to the balance though. As you mentioned, could be downforce. Maybe the rear degree angle is too low in comparison with the rest of the car in terms of balance, but he does come rather nicely here through this final sector, and it really is obviously a strong point with lower downforce. The final sector and Godek absolutely not able to get past at the moment. Seems like Rens Klopp is stabilizing his lap times a little bit, doing 119.3 at the moment. It was in fact Richie Hoyer who was slightly faster than Rens at the moment, but Rens knowing that he has that about 2-second gap, he doesn't need to push his balls off, he needs to stay calm and maybe save a little bit of his tire wear for later in the race while Hoyer tries to perhaps push very hard. And I think that Hoyer is pushing because he had another slight oversteer moment in turn 7. George Shatsipantelis is still in 10th as well. He is under pressure though from Press Hellis Georges. George Shatsipantelis doesn't have DRS though. This is why Godek will be so happy with that DRS. As I saw someone through the grass or not?
Yeah, that was Partington. He just misjudged his braking point and didn't want to risk going into the anti-cut, so he just went across the grass. But he lost quite a lot of time to raise, but I think he's still got DRS. Yes, he does, but he lost quite a lot of time to raise there.
So Godek hitting the ref limiter at 325 kilometers an hour. That is... Hoyer!
Hoyer!
Hoyer hitting the wall, losing his front wing. He has to do another lap here. Debris flying on the track. Drivers trying to avoid it. But Hoyer's race is over. Doesn't he realize he doesn't have a front wing? He does realize it surely right now. And Hoyer's race has gone to pieces here. This is a big shame to see. Front wing is gone. Needs to pit again. And now he needs to drive this full lap without a front wing. And what was it, James? Just misjudged the braking point probably. Yeah.
I think that was the case, and it's one of the worst places to lose your front wing because the pit entry is just on your left hand side. You've got to go and drive a whole lap without a front wing. That's messed up his strategy, and surely Hoyer is going to have to go for a 3-stop now because you'd expect them to come in around lap 18, I think, if that's right, Jeroen. So that's definitely mocked up Michi Hoyer's race. How unfortunate for him, but now that's put up Godek into second place, and Daniel Kiss lost a lot of time because of that, because he had to wait to get past Hoyer. So now that's released Godek out the now they're all separated by 4.7 seconds from Klopp to Kiss. So Godek in a twister sandwich at the moment, and I did talk about going over them anti-cuts. It can cause you to ruin your race, and indeed he didn't go into the wall of champions, but he did go into the wall on the left side of the anti-cut. So unfortunate for Hoyer. Hopefully he can recover his race.
Yeah, just going over the big sausage curb, nothing you can do. Sadler Georges again knocking on the door of Shatsipantelis. Shatsipantelis going a bit deep into turn 1. Hoyer, or sorry, Georges has to go around the outside. Oh, does so really well. And Shatsipantelis is leaving just about enough room for Georges there. Had to go on the curb though, but Georges definitely knocking on the door. But yep, that was Hoyer's car going airborne. Nothing you can do at that point. Obviously, you cannot turn your wheel anymore. And this is one of those points in the race where Godek has to show what he has got. Because I said it before the race, you know, Godek has good raw space. I think everyone agrees on that. But sometimes misses the driving. I wouldn't really call it intelligence, but like the driving style, which suits the conditions best. He has got himself right now bigger than a 1-second gap to Daniel Kiss. So Daniel Kiss is not in his DRS zone. He needs to drive right on the limit of pushing too hard and destroying the tires, but being quicker than Daniel Kiss, and going too slow, and Daniel Kiss will catch up again, but saving the tires a bit more. It's so important for him right now to find that balance. And if he can find that balance, he has a good chance at being in, you know, P2. He just needs to take this incident which happened with Hoyer and Kiss losing time. He needs to use it right now to his advantage with Daniel Kiss dropping outside his DRS zone. Now I really want to see whether he uses this as well.
Comparing the last laps from the top 3, so Klopp did a 19.1. Godek did a 19.4, and then look at Daniel Kiss. Daniel Kiss did an 18.9. So Kiss finding some pace in his Twister racing car. Are we gonna see a 1-2 for Twister racing? Can Godek stop this Twister racing dominance in FSR? But Daniel Kiss has some massive oversteer on the exit turn 9, and that he nearly put it into the wall. So good job, good driving to keep it out of the wall. but definitely the tyres aren't looking too bad, but I think it depends how well the drivers have treated them throughout the 11 laps so far in this race.
Well, Mario Godek definitely responding here, about 4/10 quicker, 3/10 than Daniel Kiss on this lap. Again, a good battle for P9, though it always is quite a bit of a battle over there. In the meantime, let's have a look at Mario Godek's lap time. He said 18.8 and Kiss a 19.0, so Godek responding very well there. But again, you don't want to be pushing too hard and destroy your tires. You really need to find that balance and be consistent as well. That is so important. Currently, he wasn't consistent. 19 point. What was it, James? 4.2. What was it again? On the last lap.
For
Godek.
Oh, Godek. It was an 18.8.
Yeah, but on the lap before that, like a 19.2.
Yeah, it was a 19.4.
Yeah, so see that is a 6/10 gap. That is not consistent. He needs to find a consistency right now, and all-time drive in the high 18s, low 19s. In that case, he also is starting to probably protect his tire wear a little bit. That is really the point Godek needs to focus on, in my opinion, in terms of racecraft. But enough of Godek. There is still a great battle here for 9th place with Shotzi Pantelis. He is definitely holding these guys up, though. Have a look at the gap in front of him. Mike Partington is up the road, but by 7 seconds.
Yeah, indeed, and I found it interesting that Hoyer's got his pit line, and indeed they're pitting on lap 13, which is interesting. So, what sort of strategy are they going for?
Yeah, Daniel Kiss again on super soft there. You see that as well. So let's say you can do another 13 laps. Would be lap 26. 30 laps on the soft. Oh, Mashuli making contact. Mashuli and Shotzi Pantelis, I guess. Yep, Shotzi Pantelis having contact with Mashuli, or I should say the other way around, because I think Mashuli hit the back of Shotzi Pantelis. Also, Shotzi Pantelis losing a place straight away to Miguel Reyes, who exited the pit lane, and that is horrible for Shotzi Pantelis, who had quite a good race at that point.
Indeed, I think that's something for the stewards to look at after this race. But currently, Renslop has got his pit light on, so he will be going into the pits. And so where is Daniel Kiss? We'll have to look at Daniel Kiss. If Renslop is going into the pits and can Renslop, I think if he has a problem-free pit stop, he will keep first place, you'd imagine. As Godek carries on, he's just hit the wall. Godek, I think he's got suspension damage. He's lost his front end plate. Marek Godek for Ghostby Racing, he's damaged his suspension, but only slightly, and now that's going to cost him drivability and indeed speed. So we'll have to keep an eye on what his lap time will be. But where is Ren's Klopp? He's out in front of his Twisted teammate Daniel Kiss by 3.8 seconds. So definitely Kiss has caught up to Ren's Klopp. But obviously now, if Godek pits at the end of this lap, he's going to lose time in the pits with his crew trying to fix that problem. So perhaps it's going to be a Twisted 1-2.
Yeah.
Godek really struggling with the rear.
I think Godek is done. I seriously think that 6 tenths down at the end of sector 1, obviously not done, but I mean not done in terms of top 3, that's for sure. He lost a lot of time in sector 2 as well. He needs to keep his wheel pointed a little bit to the rear, to the right. Sorry, you see that? Down the straight here, his wheel is pointing a bit to the right. I think this is an unfortunate mistake made by Godek, and it's going to cost him a lot.
Yeah, indeed. He needs to just keep consistent and just stay out of the wall and try to do the best that he can. He's staying out. So I'd imagine he's going to go into the pits next lap. It is incredibly difficult to keep some good pace and to manage the situation what Godek is having. So just clip the grass going into turn 3. I think if he gets the top 5, he's done an amazing job with that suspension damage. But we'll have to see how the race pans out.
Daniel Kiss said the purple lap time 1:18.0. Rens Klopp's lap time was a 1:18.3, but Rens Klopp most importantly finds himself in a bit of traffic. But coming back to the pit stop phase, actually, that is something I did not expect. Lap 13. It is, in my opinion, quite early. So let's say they would stop again in lap 26. If that is the case, then they need to do 30 laps on the soft, which is a lot if you are only able to manage about 13 laps on the super soft. So I don't see that happening. And then the question becomes: are these drivers going to do a free stop? Because Rens Klopp also went for the super soft tires. That is a question which needs to be answered later. If they can do and go to lap 30 right now, they would have to do 26 laps on the soft, which is still a lot, as Godek is entering the pit lane. So I think these guys are actually on a free stop. So Godek in his grid slot, or a pit box rather. Does he repair his car? That's the question. He does indeed repair the car. Did his engine stall? I think Godek's engine is gone. Maybe he launches it up, launches it up again though. He fires it up. I don't know.
I'm not sure what's going on, and he has got his engine back going again.
Okay, yeah. So probably he's trying to save his engine, being stationary there and trying to not heat it up too much and overheat.
He needs to get out in front of Thomas Sadler, and indeed he has. So probably just going you off again, Jeroen.
No
but
problem.
I think Thomas might have to let him through. I think Godek might have to let him through, and I'm not too sure. We'll have to see what that pans out.
Prieto mistake. Prieto mistake in the hairpin. Rens Klopp goes through. Sorry to cut you off. Copy in third there, but Prieto making a mistake, braking for the hairpin, and immediately you can see him weaving quite a bit around the straight. I think Kobe will go into the pit lane straight away. I think indeed he will, because he has his pit light on. Rens Klopp nonetheless trying to defend or something, going a bit defensive. And here we go, a little bit of a train. Gobby in the pit lane, Prieto in the pit lane, and now it releases Rens Klopp, who is out alone again in first. But look who is still driving. It's Mike Partington, who is currently ahead of Daniel Kiss, and this is crucial for Daniel Kiss to get by ASAP. Godek in fourth, or Hodes, sorry, in fourth as well, by the way. He's doing a good job on the soft tire. So he's going with a bit of a different strategy. Hodes taking advantage of what happened to Godek and being in fourth there. And, well, that's a provisional third place, I would say, because Partington still has to pit. But is Mike Partington then actually on a bit of a different strategy? Is he on a two-stop while Twister is, for example, on a free-stop? I'm not 100% sure whether Twister is on the free-stop. I do presume so, since they have gone with another set of super soft tires. But Mike Partington might be on a different strategy here.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I definitely think that's the case, Jeroen. But we'll have to see how it's going to all come together at the end of the race. If Mike Partington can keep consistent, keep it clean, and then he's got a really good chance of getting a podium here at Canada, I think. And let's have a look at his speed. He's 1.7 seconds away from Rascuti. He's 2 seconds away from Prieto. But more importantly, he's on the soft tyres, and I believe he's going to come into the pits at the end of this lap, if not for the next lap. So we're currently on lap... Well, he's going in on 17, the end of lap 17, into the pits, and he'll start lap 18. Nearly misses his pit box. I think he just spotted it in the corner of his eye, and now he's going to exit the pits. So where's Godek? Godek's coming down the pit straight now, and I believe that his speak has... Well, we'll have to see. This is actually going to be close, and sadly he's past Godek. So... Heathbeak has got out in front of Sadler for 10th place, so that's fairly interesting. And now Heathbeak can find some good pace and hopefully catch up to Michael Francesconi, and then we can see a good battle on our hands.
Interesting how much pace Heathbeak actually picked up in this car. He wasn't doing too great at the start of this race, but definitely picked it up towards the end of his stint. And it rewards him right now with a 10th spot, which he definitely does deserve at the moment. Daniel Kiss overtook Mike Partington with an easy pass, and Mike Partington will be pitting this lap perhaps because his pit light is on, and he indeed pits this lap, hits the pit perimeter, well, right in time there. He had plenty of space left in fact. Let's have a look what kind of tires he goes to. I'm really looking forward to this. He can do 18 laps on the super soft. If he goes to the super soft again, he'll do another 18 laps. He does go to the super soft, so that would put him at 36 laps, and then he has to do another 20 laps on a soft tire. I say that's a possibility. So we see Mike Partington most likely on the 2-stop.
Yeah, I definitely think that is the case, but we'll have to see how it pans out as Michael Francesconi goes really deep into turn 1, and Jurdis has managed to get himself up into 8th place. He's managed to advance 3 places. Masculi's gone up into 4th place, but he's going to go into the pits. He still hasn't pitted. So fantastic effort from him to not have gone into the pits and get up into into 4th place. And let's just have a look at his lap time. So last lap he's at 119.3. In comparison to Ren's Klopp set a 118.3. So that's a second difference. So Masculi definitely losing a lot of time to Ren's Klopp, but we'll have to see what tyres he'll go with. I imagine he's going to go with another set of super softs, and then he will go for the soft tyres, and he looks like he's doing a 2-stop as well. So definitely other drivers are managing to make the tyres work longer and keeping some fairly decent pace. So Masculi goes into the pits and goes for the soft tyres, so he's looking to go for a super soft run towards the end of the race. So they'd expect him to come in at around lap 39 to lap 42, and then he'll go for a short stint on the super soft tyres. And is that he speak?
Godek.
Yes, it is.
Godek is out of the race.
Fortunate for him. So Mark Godek out, as Jeroen said, on lap 20. So more importantly, Heespeak has got out in front of Masculi. That's what he needs to do, and now Masculi finds himself in some traffic now, so he's going to have to clear Heespeak. But of course, Heespeak is on the super soft tyres, whereas Masculi is on the softs.
Sorry for interrupting you, Chris. George Chatsipantelis got... I think that is... he was battling with Chris de Jong. Chris de Jong going for the inside. I think Chris de Jong had the right to actually be on the inside of turn 6. And Chatsipantelis didn't really leave room. I think that Chris de Jong had the right to be there. Chris de Jong able to keep on going. Chatsipantelis as well. Maybe the two have slight suspension damage. I do not know at this stage. But there was obviously a battle further back, and this battle was actually heating up quite a bit over the course of the last few laps. Unfortunately, those drivers couldn't keep it clean. Sorry for cutting you off.
It's fine, Jeroen. Finished my sentence anyway, but that was more important than what I was saying anyway. So yeah, unfortunate for, well, it's something that the stewards have got to look at again. So there's quite a few incidents going on at the moment, so definitely the stewards are going to have quite a busy evening looking through all the replays and getting the best decision, which will take place later on in the week, and then we'll get some post-race checks. So I'm interested to see what sort of actions taken against certain drivers. So currently it is a Twister 1-2 with Ren's Klopp in first place with a 4.8 second gap to his Twister teammate Daniel Kiss, who's got an 8.5 second gap to Martin Hodas. Another Twister domination taking place here, and you know, it's just a massive credit to them because they are doing a fantastic job, as they have done in Ace all season long so far. And you know, it's a massive credit to them for what they are doing at the moment. But Hodas, he's on the soft tyres, so he is. So it's definitely Aventa are looking really good for this race. They've got a fantastic opportunity to get some great points. Partington's in 6th. He pitted on the end of lap. Well, he pitted on the end of lap 18. So he's got a fantastic chance to get some points. So Aventa in great shape at the moment.
And Mike Partington has been driving incredibly well on his first stint. He finds himself in 6th, as you have said, on the fresher tires compared to the guys in front of him. I say Mike Partington, go for it. You know, he has the fresher tires, he has the advantage. Obviously, he needs to keep it clean as well. He's on the 2-stop, so can't afford to have a major lockup or something like that. While others maybe can push a little bit harder. Obviously, he needs to preserve or save his tires a little bit more compared to the other guys. But I think he is driving rather well here. And as you have said, Hodes as well on the soft tire. Daniel Kiss did the 0.6 last time round on the super soft. Hodes did the 0.7 on the soft, you know. So that also says something. Of course, it wasn't the best lap of Kiss ever, but it says something, you know. But it also, at the same time, of course, says something that Hodes is 14 seconds back. Because let's be realistic and let's be honest, Twister is still the strong team. But at the same time, I do think as well that Rens Klopp has stepped his game up a little bit, as Mike Partington actually went purple. I think Rens Klopp stepped his game up a little bit for this race. You know, he finds himself in first place, and in my opinion, having the upper hand here on Daniel Kiss.
Yeah, indeed, I definitely think that is the case, and I do have to say, I think them Twister setups are pretty much identical. Perhaps they're using the same aerodynamics, because Klopp has got a 325.3 kilometers an hour top speed, whereas Daniel Kiss has got 325.018, which is his maximum top speed. That's with DRS as well. So yeah, so pretty close setups from the Twister drivers. Who's got the biggest top speed out of the whole grid? And that is Thomas Sadler with 331.896 kilometers an hour. So really high top speed from the Go Speed driver, and still Aerosol Skilly hasn't been able to get past Rude Heatspeed. So definitely the super soft tyres gaining more lap time than what the softs are, but we'll have to see what happens when super soft starts to wear. So can Musculi come into play? He's only 4 tenths away from Heatspeed, so hopefully we see a good battle between both of them. But Michael Francesconi, from the back of the grid, is currently in 8th place, so he's kept it consistent and has managed to get himself up into 8th place. So great driving from him so far. And also just about Mike Partington, he's incredibly consistent and incredibly good on his tyres, so definitely he's looking in great shape. If he does make any mistakes, he's definitely got a fantastic opportunity to go and get a podium here at Canada. And now let's have a look at the battle for 4th place with Prieto and Fabrizio Gobbi. Gobbi brakes later than what Prieto did into turn 10. Now he's going to have, Fabrizio Gobbi's got good traction and he's going to go down this DRS zone. Of course, Prieto doesn't have DRS, too far away from Martin Hodas, but Fabrizio Gobbi hitting the rev limit to 325 kilometers an hour. Same top speed as Twister Racing. So now going down towards turn 1. DRS is open for Fabrizio Gobbi, but he's just too far away from Prieto. Whoa! Gobbi nearly lost it under braking. He tapped the grass and very lucky to not spin out. So good job to keep the car on the track and not lose too much time. But indeed, Prieto went too deep into turn 1. So Prieto got away with it. But definitely this battle for 4th place is definitely hotting up with Prieto, Gobbi and Partington.
Yeah, Gobbi just needs to make sure that he sticks within the 1 second and also then the DRS detection zone. In that case, he needs to be patient. We've seen a few incidents here and there over the course of this day. As a driver, you need to be patient, and this hairpin is so tricky. There are a few drivers, trust me, who could be so clever here while defending for the hairpin. You could seriously slow down a little bit more in the middle of the hairpin, and then as soon as you hit the traction, the zone, just go flat out and pull a gap to the car behind you. And Prieto at the moment doing well, certainly a good job. Had a good exit there out of the hairpin and keeping Gobbi behind quite a way this lap. So no chance for Gobbi here. But is it me, or does it look like Prieto is sometimes wiggling a little bit with his wheel down the straight, or is it just lag or whatever? I don't know. Is it there for you as well, James? Or
yeah, I'm not too sure what that is. Perhaps it's just that he's got quite high force feedback, so it's quite powerful. I'm not too sure, but nevertheless, Prieto still doing a good job, and not too much action going on at this point in time. But we'll have to see what happens when they come to the DRS zones. But DRS zones not being as effective as what I thought they'd be. I think
No, true. They have also quite similar top speed, you know, and that really makes a difference. Also, the cars behind, they pick up slipstream and DRS as well. And in qualifying, you hit 325 in the rev limiter perfectly at the end of the straight. But with the slipstream boost as well, you hit it a little bit before it, you know, so that is another disadvantage for the car trying to overtake.
Yeah, indeed, and definitely it's showing that having a little bit higher downforce setup is definitely better than having a lower downforce setup here, because you can keep your tyres in a better shape than what your lower downforce setup. What's happened to Easterbeek? Oh, he's going past Michael Franciscani. I'm not too sure what was going on.
Yeah, Easterbeek made a move on Francesconi there and got up, but Francesconi, I think, also pitted. And that means that Masciuli is now behind him. Another person who pitted, or another driver who pitted, is Daniel Kiss. He went with the soft tires. That would mean 30 laps on the soft tire. Not gonna happen. Twister, or at least Daniel Kiss, definitely on the freestyle. But most importantly, look at this. Daniel Kiss finding himself in quite a bit of traffic behind that battle with Gobbi and Prieto, which cooled down a little bit, has to be said. Prieto pulling away slightly from Gobbi. Renskop in the meantime is still going. He has a spit light on this lap though, so he should also come in. And the end of lap 27. And now let's have a look at Daniel Kiss, see what he can do. Obviously on those soft tires, they have a little bit less traction. You do feel that compared to the super softs. But also for the straight is too far back. But who in front of him is going to pit? That's the question.
And Hodas does, and Prieto, he tried to go for a move on Martin Hodas, but didn't realise he was going into the pits and just went over the anti-cut and nearly put it into the wall. And Fabrizio Gobbi looking on the inside into turn 1, but Renskop's pitted onto the soft tyres and he's kept first place. So there's still Prieto, Gobbi, Prieto and Gobbi still need to pit. So Daniel Kiss is currently being held up by both of these drivers, and it's allowing Klopp to just get away from Daniel Kiss. So effectively it's still a Twister Racing 1-2 at this point in time, and obviously Twister is still going to have to pit. So I'd expect them to come in around lap 40 to 43. I think that's when they're going to pit. I think 43 is more of a realistic target than just going to go for a quick sprint on the super soft tyres, and I imagine around 13 laps is going to be fairly decent on the super softs, and he'll keep good pace. And so far Twister Racing looking in really good shape. But can Gobbi do anything behind Prieto? I don't think he can. I think he's just too far behind unless he's got a really strong top speed, but he's only 324 kilometers an hour. His maximum top speed's been 325, so definitely the driver's not going with a too high top speed to what we were expecting, but still high nevertheless. We're not reaching the speeds of Monza in excess of 330, but definitely quite interesting what sort of setups all these drivers have gone with.
Yeah, most battles we see here as well today are battles which are in the train, you know, so a driver or multiple drivers then have DRS, which neutralizes the effect a lot of drivers have, except for the guy in front of you who doesn't have DRS, and that also makes it a little bit seeming like it's really hard to overtake. But it definitely should be possible here, that's for sure. Around that back straight, you can also use it as a back straight to close up, you know, and then go for a move into turn 1 when you again have DRS another time. But it is quite risky going into that chicane in the dirty air of someone else and then have a good exit as well. That is the hard part. And again, Prieto putting the power down so nicely at the exit of the hairpin, pulling away slightly from Fabrizio Gobbi. Gobbi with DRS again cannot get past, but Mike Partington is also there. You see that behind Daniel Kiss. It's quite a shame that Mike Partington, although it's part of racing, was in a bit of traffic. Definitely cost him some time, otherwise he maybe would have been in front of this train here, and who knows what kind of role he would have played into this race. Well, Daniel Kiss going a bit deep for turn 1 though. Daniel Kiss does need to keep it together, but I think Daniel Kiss, his race is is falling into pieces, or a chance at the win rather. You know, the more time he stays stuck behind these guys, the less time he will have to close Rens Klopp down. And obviously all the time he is behind these guys, Rens Klopp is obviously going to pull away more and more and more. Rens Klopp already had the upper hand, but it does look like Rens Klopp will win if everything goes according to plan for him, but still a long race to go.
Yeah, indeed, we've still got 26 laps of good racing. Can Daniel Kiss get past Fabrizio Gobbi, and when are these two going to pit? Well, it looks like Pieto's going to pit at the end of this lap, because he's got his pit light on, so we should expect him to come into the pits. But is he going for a 2-stop? Is he going for 25 laps on them soft tyres if he does pit at the end of this lap? Indeed, he is pitting. So, is he going for a 3-stop, or is he going for a 2-stop? I think 25 laps is a bit optimistic on the soft tyres, and no, he's going for the super stop. So it does appear to be a 3-stop. So he's going to pit around lap 44, 43 thereabouts, and then he'll go for the soft tyres. I don't think Prieto's used the soft tyres yet. So that's something that he needs to do, and he's just got out in front of Heat Speed. He needed to get that done, so good job from the Faster and the Speed crew to get him out in front of Heat Speed, because now he's got some clean air and can go and chase down Martin Hodas with fresher super soft tyres.
Mitchie Hoyer did very well in qualifying, also at the beginning of the race, but at the moment where he launched his car, and Chris de Jong was out, where he launched his car into the barrier. What happened to Chris de Jong though? That is well, interesting. He spun. Wow. Chris de Jong spinning at the exit of the chicane, and then thought, no, I want to stop, and he ends his race right there. So Chris de Jong definitely stopping as Daniel Kiss goes for a move on the inside of Fabrizio Gobbi, and Gobbi just turns in, and Gobbi hitting the wall. Gobbi's race is over. Gobbi doesn't have a rear wing, goes back on the track, trying to go into the pit lane, and Daniel Kiss right away under attack from Giuseppe Ragusa. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong name, isn't it? It is indeed. But that's obviously a back marker as well. But wow. Was it, whose fault was it? That is a tough one, obviously down to the stewards, but having a look at the replay, you need to do that as well. Daniel Kiss had the inside line. That is definitely the preferred line. His car was alongside. Yeah, this is down to Gobbi.
Really unfortunate for Gobbi. He's lost his rear wing, he's got suspension damage. I think that's his race pretty much over, like with Godek. There's another driver who suffered suspension damage, so definitely Canada definitely costing the drivers their suspension and a lot of time, so it's not been a friendly track, although Canada isn't really a friendly track at the best of times. But Rens Klopp has now got a 9.5 second gap to Mike Partington, and now let's drop Daniel Kiss down into 3rd place. And this is excellent for Partington.
Yep.
He just needs to keep Daniel Kiss at bay, and then he can go. He's got a fantastic opportunity to get a podium. He just needs to control his tyres and just keep some decent pace. Last lap for Daniel Kiss was an 18.1. And last lap for Mike Partington was an 18.3, and Rens Klopp had, well, Rens Klopp's last lap was a 1:18. So Partington on a scrub set of super soft tyres, only slightly slower than what Kiss and Klopp are doing at this time, and Gobbi is still in the pits, and I think that is his race pretty much over now.
Yeah, it's lap 33 out of 56. Mike Partington is coming to the end of his stint. He will pit in 3 laps time. But you know what? I think Mike Partington has a good chance at second here with that incident which happened between Kiss and Gobbi. Because Mike Partington will pit in lap 36. That is at least what I plan, what I think he will do. And we will do 20 laps on the soft, but while he is on the soft tire from lap 36 onwards, let's say he does pit in lap 35, so or lap 36, whatever. From then onwards, he will have the fresher tires on Kiss, build up a little bit of a gap most likely. Then Kiss will come in at about lap 43 for a super soft tire, and he will be behind Partington, and Partington, you know, it's then down to Partington to defend that place. And we have seen that defending around this track is possible if you have good traction out of the hairpin mainly. You can keep in front of the guy behind you. But at the same time, Daniel Kiss does step up a little bit right now and is quite close behind Mike Partington. So Mike Partington doesn't need to crack under pressure, and then Daniel Kiss goes for an inside move. And that was a very late decision, just dived on the inside there. Partington probably saw it in his mirrors though and gave him room. But Daniel Kiss trying something else rather than overtaking at the end of the back straight.
Yeah, I think Kiss is getting pretty desperate now. We've now got George Chatterman-Tellis who will get blue flags and will move out of the way. But I think Kiss perhaps missed his braking point and just had no other option. Hope that Partington looked in his mirrors, and indeed Partington did. But now Daniel Kiss is only 2/10 off Partington, but of course because of George Chatterman-Tellis, he's got DRS as well, so that's going to neutralise the DRS effect. And Daniel Kiss hasn't got pass, and again Partington will have DRS, but Daniel Kiss using the slipstream, but can he get past? No, he can't. He's not having a look up on the inside. So we have 21 laps remaining of this Canadian Grand Prix. So Klopp has now got a 10.6 second gap to Mike Partington, and Klopp doing an excellent job, just keeping it consistent and doing an excellent job. So all credit to him for what he's done, and we'll speak to him after the race and get his opinion on his race and how he felt it went.
Partington going quite a bit over those curves there. Daniel Kiss is all over him. Mike Partington, you can see, is at the end of his stint. Daniel Kiss will have a look on the inside of the hairpin. He'll probably go for it. Remember, Daniel Kiss will have DRS here as well, and so I don't think Mike Partington will be able to recover from that. He is in the slipstream, however. Here we go. Daniel Kiss's DRS is opening up right there. Partington in the slipstream, however, which is also quite effective. But I think Partington here has to give up, and he does indeed, and completely misses the apex then for the chicane as well.
Yeah, I think he just outbroke himself slightly, and his tyres are worn. So we're going to expect him in the pits in the next couple of laps, which will go for the soft tyres, I'd imagine. But yeah. Let's have a look at Heasterbeek and Masculi, because they're really close at the moment. It's only 3/10 that separates Masculi to Heasterbeek at the moment. So I think we'll have to wait until the DRS zone, either on the back straight leading up to 13 and 14, or on the pit straight into turn 1. Hopefully we can see a good overtake from Masculi and see what he can do behind Heasterbeek. He's only 3/10 away, but perhaps needs to catch up a little bit more and get between 2/10 and just goes on the grass on the exit of turn 9, and then that just cost him. So we'll have to see what can Masculi do down the straight, but Heasterbeek has got the more superior drive, and that's allowed him to neutralise the DRS effect, because obviously again better traction. Indeed, Heasterbeek going into the pits. Masculi has got his, but chose not to go into the pits. So let's have a look at what Heasterbeek is going to do. Also in the pits on lap 37, and where's this going to feed Partington out? And he's just behind his Eros Masculi teammate, just having quite a lot of oversteer on the exit. And now Heasterbeek coming out in 9th place and has gone on to the super soft tyres. So 19 laps for Heasterbeek to do on this super soft compound.
If I was Eventer right now, I would say to Masculi that Partington is behind him, battling for probably a second place, and needs to let him go ASAP. But it doesn't seem to be working like that at the moment. Because remember, Daniel Kiss is currently in second, but Mike Partington could be in second because he can go for a major undercut. I would also like to see if Daniel Kiss is responding to Partington and pitting around now and also going to another soft stint, but staying ahead of Partington, or whether, as I heard a crash noise, anyway, finishing the sentence. If he doesn't pit, then obviously he will pit a little bit later as a front wing end plate at the Wall of Champions, but never mind. Partington finds himself in front of Daniel Kiss when he pits, so about lap 43, and Daniel Kiss will be on the super soft. He's got to have to overtake again, but it seems like Daniel Kiss has got enough faith in that plan, as he didn't respond last lap. So it seems like if Partington is going to pass Masciuli, then is faster than Daniel Kiss in terms of lap time, might have a chance at being in second and then having to defend for the final stint. But Masciuli doesn't let him go at the moment, and Partington cannot get past. So this is crucial for Partington, key for his race, that he cannot get past at the moment, because it might compromise him a lot towards the end of the race here. Having said that, Masciuli goes very deep in turn 8, and here comes Mike Partington picking up the slipstream. Will he already go for a move on the entry of the hairpin? Yes, he does. Down the inside, fresh tires as Gobby goes nicely out of the way, and Partington getting that move done. Smart move down the inside of the hairpin there. The detection point is far before the hairpin, so Mike Partington will also have DRS. Does Masciuli have DRS? No, he doesn't. I thought maybe he would have DRS on the back marker, which was Gobby, but he doesn't. So Partington now in 5th place, goes all the way over those curbs. But we need to have a look at his lap times. Are they going to be quicker than Daniel Kiss? You would say so, because Daniel Kiss is on a scrub set of soft tires. Will be pitting in about 4 laps time, but this is crucial now for Partington to push.
Indeed it is. If he wants to go and get that podium, he needs to put the hammer down and try. Well, I think he will get a podium here, unless he makes a mistake, of course. But both Twister Racing drivers still need to pit, so Partington just needs to preserve these tyres, and he will get a podium. So Aventa, as I said before, looking really strong at the moment. They're looking to be the best of the rest from Twister Racing at this point in time. Whether that will change, we'll have to see.
So as George is in 7th, quite a at the moment for him, finds himself now behind Masciuli, Partington as well, so this DRS effect gets neutralized as Hodes is coming into the pit lane. His tires should be his final. What will he go for? That is doable. And Hodes does it to the pit exit, and oh, Georges has hit his pit wall. The wall from it on the entry of the pit box. To the pit lane though, another extra amount of time added to the pit stop. We'll go for the soft tire there. I did the exact same in pro, hitting the pit wall there, and it also cost my front wing. Is it for Georges and as well? This is not what you want to see as a driver, obviously. Georges definitely out when he is rejoining the track.
Yeah, indeed, and Cam is 13 seconds up the currently, and Georges did touch the pit exit line on the exit, so not too sure about it. But nevertheless, and why Sadler?
Sadler indeed retired. I'll have a look at that. It seems like suspension damage. Behind Heesterbeek, oversteer on the exit. Sadler's race is definitely over. Another retirement though.
A high level of attrition here at Canada. Masciuli pits, he'll go for the super soft tyres, so he will have 15 laps to do. Just goes past with his teammate. So Masciuli 8th and Camper goes into pits in 9th place. So can we see Camper's getting some points here, which is good for him. I'm just wondering, Alessia Campers touch his speed limiter? No, he didn't. Okay, no. I thought because he did rev his engine quite a lot. So never mind. So Alessio hasn't got a penalty. So can he go and get into the top 10? And hopefully he does do that. He does do a lot of work for FSR. He does do the age write-up, so they are really good to read. So I encourage you to go and read anything more about FSR. But currently, Ren's Klopp leading the way at the moment. Let's just compare their lap times at the moment. So Daniel Kiss appears to be going 2/10 faster than what Klopp is, but perhaps Klopp's just preserving his tyres at the moment. That's what I think what Klopp's doing. And Daniel Kiss just really trying to catch up to Klopp, trying to fight to try and make up time, but Kiss looks like he's going into the pits at the end of this lap, and Klopp's pit light isn't on, which is quite interesting. So it appears that Daniel Kiss trying to get the undercut on his teammate, but that gap is too much for the undercut to be effective. So I think Klopp has just preserved a lot better, and that's meant he can go longer, and I expect Klopp to come in either at the end of the next lap or on lap 44.
Daniel Kiss then hitting the pit limiter for the pit lane. Coming into his box, I think he also responded a little bit to Mike Partington, who set a purple lap time last time round, being 8/10 quicker than Daniel Kiss. And this is interesting then though, can Partington stay in front, or can he get in front of Daniel Kiss? I think that the answer is going to be no, as Daniel Kiss exits the pit lane and is far in front of Mike Partington. I honestly did not expect this, but this does show that Mike Partington has lost a lot of time behind the fellow Eventa SimRacing car, because he was quicker than Daniel Kiss.
Yeah, that's true, but they're still got third and fourth place at the moment, so they just need to keep consistent, and they've only got 13 laps remaining, and hopefully we don't see a repeat of Malaysia where the two Eventa SimRacing cars took each other out. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because they deserve to get some good points here at Canada. They've been really strong around here and shown some really nice pace, so hopefully that does come for them. But currently Ren's Klopp's in pits at the moment, so I'd imagine he's going to go for the super softs. He's only got 13 laps to do on the super softs, and indeed he just go for the super softs, and just coming into the chicane now. I'm interested to see what that gap is, and of course Kiss has still got to go through that chicane, and we will see. So it appears that it's a 7.7 gap between Klopp and Kiss, so definitely Kiss has made up time, around 0.8 seconds on Klopp, but still can't really overtake Klopp because he's just too far away. So 12 laps remaining out of this Canadian Grand Prix.
Controlled drive from Ren's Klopp, has to be said. It's something we have seen him doing before, especially last year in Pro, where he always had very controlled drives. Always, maybe he wasn't always the guy with that outstanding raw pace, but certainly the driver with the incredible amount of consistency and good race pace knew when to push, and I didn't really recognize that in him anymore at the start of this season, but now coming to round 5, he looks again a lot more in control, just like it used to be. Remember in Malaysia he also spun, which is very unlikely for him, and I think we have an interview with him, don't we, James? So in that case I would like to ask him a question about that, actually, as he comes through the first couple of corners. But certainly very controlled, and something where it needs to happen if Ren's Klopp doesn't finish first here. But 6 retirements today, it is quite a bit. And where is it down to? Is it just down to those walls being a little bit closer than on other tracks perhaps? Is it because of the rear tires degrading more than on any other track so far this season, where it was more like the fronts degrading a bit more? What do you think?
both of them things what you say. I think walls definitely make it a hard circuit to drive, because if you make a mistake you're going to go into the walls, which is kind of what we like to do, because we like to see drivers punished for mistakes, because like with the reduction, well, with the gravel traps being gone rid of,
Parabolica.
yes, Parabolica and China, where Lewis Hamilton went into the gravel trap and cost him the 2007 World Championship. But still, you know, you want to see drivers punished, and definitely Canada does offer that. And I think with the rear tyres going off more quickly at different tracks, it's a different type of track than what we've raced this season so far, because they've pretty much been all front demanding on the tyres so far in the calendar, especially at China, as I said in the introduction of the broadcast, or at the start of the broadcast.
Chansey Pantelis is battling quite hard with Riera. Actually, they make contact on the exit of the hairpin. This is the only battle so far really going on at the track. So Chansey Pantelis versus Riera. Riera having DRS. So I sound like a Spaniard there. And Chansey Pantelis having the better top speed. What the hell is Chansey Pantelis? What a move! On the outside of the chicane and just has the bigger balls. Outbreaks Riera. But I was slightly confused there, because it certainly was Riera with the DRS. But Chansey Pantelis just outspeeding him. Even though he didn't have. And also having the bigger balls for the braking zone of the chicane. I say good move. So good move from him, but Riera again putting the pressure on him just like he did last lap. And perhaps Riera already going back, because Riera does seem a bit quicker, but you know, Chansey Pantelis show what you have got. Klopp in the meantime, again consistent lap times, 16.8 last lap, personal best for him. It also shows he is on the soft at the moment. Chansey Pantelis is carrying a lot of that curb there. But it shows that those soft tires don't necessarily have the best grip in the first lap. You know, it is like the third lap as Chansey Pantelis goes deep into the hairpin. Here comes Riera on the inside. Replay of last lap. Chansey Pantelis going deep, but last time Riera will have DRS. Chansey Pantelis won't have DRS. Here we go. Riera defending the inside again. This is the same as the previous lap. If he does it again, I'm going to laugh my ass off. But he doesn't. Riera having the inside line this time. And then also DRS for this little straight. Chansey Pantelis can't do anything about that anymore. But what I wanted to say is that you know, Klopp being quicker here in his third, fourth timed lap. The tire wear, same for the fuel wear, or the fuel degradation, or the fuel consumption. I think is the right word. So the tires don't wear too much, but the car gets lighter and lighter, and so you get faster and faster, and thanks to that you can still put in quick times, relatively quick times towards the end of your stints as well, because the tire wear is quite linear. But once you get to a certain point, like when they have like 60-65% left, that's really where you start to notice the tire wear, and where you can really feel the understeer, and the times will start to drop.
Yeah, indeed they will, Jeroen. And that's definitely right. But we'll have to see how the tyre wear is lap 52. But the gaps between the majority of the drivers are not that close, apart from Masculine. He's to beat. But also, I guess, both the Aventus SimRacing cars, because Hodas is on the super soft tyres, the red striped tyre. And he's going to have DRS on his teammate, so Hodas wanting a third place here at Canada. He's going to go to the inside line. Can Hodas get that move done? To be honest, Potton didn't really attack him. Good driving from both of them. Now let's put Hodas up into third place, so it's a 3-4 for Aventus SimRacing. So 1-2 at the moment for Twister Race, and we have a Fast and Speed car, Guillermo Prieto in 5th, so nice to see him doing well. He's had a fairly unlucky start to the season so far, but definitely nice to see him starting to do well.
I think Heesterbeek started in 16th place, currently in 6th, but being under pressure from Eros Masciuli. But Heesterbeek definitely showing that he is quite strong in the race system, doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. And then when others make a mistake, he definitely takes advantage from that. You know, 6 drivers who retired here today. But he keeps it clean so far, and you can see that you know, by finishing a race you can also gain a lot of places if you have kept it clean yourself. Heesterbeek being the perfect example for that here, and Hodes of course pulling away from Partington, so Hodes will take home that 3rd place most likely. But it is not settled yet here for 6th position.
No, indeed it isn't, and they're gonna, and Masculi's going to go and have DRS on Ruud Heesterbeek going down this very long straight, not as long as China's, but still very long, and still can offer some great overtaking opportunities. I'm pretty sure the Pro and World Championship teams are looking at this race closely to see what sort of tyre wear. They'll get all this feedback from the ACE drivers, what tyre wear they had, how was the fuel, and make any changes necessary to the setup for both Pro and World Championship. But Masculi doing a good job. He's in 7th place and has got a really good chance at taking 6th place. But can we just have a look at Daniel Kiss's between him and Klopp? It's 5.6 seconds, so definitely Daniel Kiss showing a great turn of pace in this race, and I think definitely being held up in that traffic has cost Daniel Kiss the chance to win here. But you know, you can't discredit Ren's Klopp, as we've currently got 5 laps of this race, and you know, 5.6 seconds, and it was 10. So Daniel Kiss has managed to gain 4.4 seconds on Ren's Klopp, but I think Kiss just needs to stop being so overly aggressive and just keep this 2nd place. And but of course he's not one to go and accept defeat, and he's trying his best to catch up to Klopp. And Daniel Kiss set a 1:16.8, so definitely the time's starting to come down thanks to the track building up, and also the fact that the fresh tyres and less fuel on board. But Klopp set a 1:17, so you can see he's being more aggressive and just trying to find time, but Klopp's just being careful and consistent and just wanting to take a win here at Canada, not making too many aggressive moves, because he doesn't need to. He just needs to bring that car home and he will win here at Canada.
Eros Masciuli going down the inside of Ruud Heesterbeek for the hairpin. Good move from Eros Masciuli. We will also have the DRS right here. Heesterbeek though going in the slipstream, and if it's the same story as with Shatsi Patlis, which could be the case, as Heesterbeek is also a go-speed car, and these two are going to go side by side into the chicane, which was indeed the case. But clever driving from Eros Masciuli. Having the inside line there, that is definitely the preferred line. If you go around the outside, you need to start by braking extremely late. And Heesterbeek didn't want to take that risk, and why would he? Heesterbeek settled himself for a 7th position most likely, and I would say that it is the final battle we have seen today, because there aren't that many people close to each other anymore. It might be Hoyer and Georges, another battle coming up soon, but yeah, they are quite similar paced, so Hoyer needs to do something special here. He wants to close up to Georges by the end of the race. But Klopp definitely looking controlled. Kiss looking the faster at this stage probably, although he lost another 10th to Klopp last lap. It's just another Twister domination. I mean, 16 seconds to Hodes compared to Kiss. It's 12, but it's still a lot. And they have done it for the first 5 seasons now, something like that. Although Ren's Klopp obviously had a mistake in Malaysia, but they always have been up there. Other teams have been up there as well in terms of raw pace. You know, Kodek, Ragusa, you name them. Hoyer today, but they don't seem to have the kind of consistency Twister has, and the kind of yeah, the coolness, and it looks all so calm for Twister. They know what they are doing. I think that's the best way to describe it, with not a lot of mistakes being made by those drivers every single race again.
Yeah, indeed, and we've really seen from just a racing driver, well, two mistakes. One was at Malaysia with Daniel Kiss, where he went wide and then they allowed Klopp through, and I'm not, what, can you remember what happened
China.
Yeah, well,
Kiss spun on the exit of
yeah, that's what I was
final
going to
corner of
go on
China.
about. I was just thinking, where did Klopp finish in Malaysia? Did he finish in second?
Don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Klopp made had that mistake in the quick left-right section, and lost the car there.
Yeah, I remember. So there hasn't really been too many mistakes from Twister Racing, let's be honest. And Malaysia and China are really demanding tracks, as Easterbeek misses the chicane completely because he just outbrakes himself and just kept his car on the road. Instead of going over the anti-cuts and risk losing his front wing like what Hoyer did.
It's quite interesting that we don't see too many drivers with brake issues. We have seen that this track is certainly a lot heavier on the brakes. I mean, there's not a lot of time for the brakes to cool down other than the back straight and the main straight really. And then the small straight between turns 7 and 8, but that is really it. But they do take a lot of damage. The driver really pushed those brakes very hard and the brake duct definitely needs to be adjusted for that in this round. A lot more compared to other rounds. You can run much lower brake ducts for the other rounds, which we have seen earlier this season. But this race is definitely a different story, where you need to run a higher brake duct. But it seems like most teams have done their homework, have done testing on that, and have come to the same conclusion, because I haven't seen really a single brake failure here yet. It might be the case, but I didn't spot one, that is for sure. Masciuli though, close down to Prieto. This might be another battle evolving here with 2 laps to go. Prieto in at 5th place then definitely wants that position. Masciuli, well, he wants that position as well, I'm sure about that. In that case, Iventa would be 3rd, 4th and 5th, if I'm correct. Indeed correct. That would be a fantastic result for them. Iventa here also being a team which capitalized on the mistake made by others, and that is part of racing. They've had a good afternoon here. I'm pretty sure they will be happy. They are actually best of the rest. If you take again the fact that if you believe the fact again that Twister has been dominating here, which they have certainly done in my opinion. This club still faster last lap than Kiss, but that gap is stabilized, I would say, about 4 seconds. So Rens Klopp will certainly win. He has 1 more lap to go. White flag for Rens Klopp, I believe, this time by. But Masciuli here, down the straight, opening up the DRS. Prieto, will he go defensive? That's the question. Let's also have a look at Masciuli's top speed though. Masciuli will have the outside line for the final chicane, which is probably not going to happen. He does it though, and he tries it, and he does it somehow. I have no idea how. I think there was contact made, a little bit of wheel banging between the two, but Masciuli taking the position, and Mitch Hoyer is out in, well, what the... Sorry, I am very confused. Mitch Hoyer just completely into the wall at a straight. Incredible. Maybe Hoyer got all tapped or something out of the game, maybe got sent back to the desktop. But Sam, I'm sure you have that from the rip to into the barrier. That is something which you don't see every single day. Rens Klopp, however, on the back straight here, and he is going to be certainly happy with this one. He is already weaving here. You saw that before the final scan. He will be extremely happy with this one, I'm sure. It will be another ace victory for Rens Klopp. I think he had one in sprint races last year, but also this year, the first victory for Rens Klopp of the season. He must be delighted. Daniel Kiss taking home a 2nd place, but Rens Klopp then, the winner of the 5th round of the Ace series.
A fantastic drive from Rens Klopp. He's kept it clean, and another 1-2 for Twister Racing. So fantastic effort from there. But let's not discredit Adventure SimRacing. What a fantastic drive they've had in third and best. They've kept it clean and they've done a fantastic job. Well done to Martin Hodas again on the podium, and also Skuli. So effectively it's a twist, no, not a twist, it's effect 3, 4, 5 is also Skuli is in Pescara Adventure, so that's Pescara's satellite team, I believe. But Prieto, the Spanish Fast and Speed driver, finishes in 6th. Ruud Heesterbeek finishes in 7th. Michael Francis Sconi finishes in 8th. Passes Jers in 9th. Alessio Campos finishes in 10th place, so he's got a point, so well done to him. And Giuseppe Ragusa finishes in 11th. Arginus Ria finishes in 12th. Michi Hoya, with that bizarre incident, finishes in 13th. And George Patti Pantelis finishes in 14th. And the people who DNF'd was Thomas Sally, Fabrizio Gostia, Matt Godet, Miguel Reyes and Dominic Renting. And now we will have the interviews from Rens Klopp, Passes Jerdis and Ruud Heesterbeek. But let's get some thoughts off Jeroen Kweekel. So what are your thoughts with that race, Jeroen?
A lot of drivers who retired. That is obviously the first thing which comes to mind. I also would have liked to see how this race would have panned out with Hoyer in there as well, but having that airborne really in the final chicane, and same goes for Mara Godek. But you know, those things happened. They happened in the past, and you can't do anything about it right now. It is Rens Klopp though who took the victory with 3.5 seconds of Daniel Kiss. Finally, someone who beats Daniel Kiss in this season after 5 rounds. And that is definitely good to see. And we have Rens Klopp right here with us for the interviews. Georges has joined us too. Hopefully Heesterbeek is going to come as well. But first of all, Rens Klopp, massive congratulations on that victory. A very controlled drive, just like we you last year as well, and always been very also so consistent. What's the key, in your opinion, to defeat Daniel Kiss here today?
I don't know. I was a bit lucky with qualifying. He had a poor lap P4, and I think when I got the pole, I knew I had to win this race. So yeah, I don't know.
It certainly was an interesting race for you. Did you plan on doing a freestyle? Was it planned within Twister? It did look like it.
Yes, it was planned for us. For us, it was the best way. Yeah. I was myself. I was using a bit more tire wear, so for me, freestyle was the best way, and for today, I think too. So.
Okay, well, before this race, I noticed that you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't look as confident or as consistent or controlled as you seemed in most of the races in Pro and most races in Ace. Am I correct there?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have much time for a race. Too busy with other things. So yeah, less laps, less test.
All right, yeah, that I get that. Do you think you can beat Daniel Kiss on more occasions during the course of this season after this round? And obviously, you have your life around this series as well, as you have mentioned. But is there any way you could carry this momentum with you towards next race as well?
Yes, I hope so. I'm gonna do my best for the next race.
All right, very good. Rens Klopp, once again, many congratulations for beating Daniel Kiss here, championship leader. Hopefully, this moment now with you to the next round. You can still challenge Daniel Kiss.
Yeah.
So, James, I guess we are going on to the next interview with Georges then, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, I just want So congrats, Renz, on a fantastic win. But with Greek over our chronic racing driver, Judges. So, Precious, what happened in that pit stop where you lost your front wing? Was it a lapse of concentration or was it just a mistake?
Hello everyone, and congrats to Renz. I don't really know. The pit box was not really ideal in that position because there were cones all over the place, and I noticed in the warm-up that it wouldn't be easy to pit there. I don't really remember. I just did the job as I should, and then I hit the rear, and then the car auto pitted itself because it had damage without having lost the wing, so I couldn't even force the car not to repair, so I wouldn't lose 20 seconds. But all in all, it was a crap race. Sorry, it was a bad race. I had some. I wasn't very lucky in the qualifying, and everything was a bit messy with the car. That's all. It was a bad race for us, and it was a shame for Michi because he had P2 in the qualifying.
Yeah, indeed, it was a good race for Michi, and you can come back stronger for the next round, which I believe it is at Austria, if I'm correct.
I don't think we could do any worse this race, so I hope we can do much better. We expected a better result here. We looked like we had the pace, but in the end, we didn't make it when it mattered. So, but we're gonna keep with ACR and OFR. We are doing a great job so far. Everyone is helping, so I hope we can turn it around a bit because it was hard to watch.
Yeah, dude. And one final question: do you think you can get teams in Ace, and because you did have a fantastic race in China, but unfortunately, well, Michi passed you and he took the win on the last lap, but then obviously got that removed after the race with post-race check, so Daniel Kiss won. So anyway, so do you think you can get more podiums in FSR?
It couldn't get any worse. That's what we want. That's why we race, and that's our target. So we just have to make it stick when it matters, because last two races we had some penalties, but we had some personal mistakes as well. But I think we can do much better in the next races. At least that's the target.
Well, good luck to you, Pastor and Renz. Hopefully you two have a good season, because you're really fast, and hopefully you get some more good results, and hopefully it improves for ACR and for you, Judges, as well. But thank you for both of you for having an interview at the end of the broadcast, and unfortunately we're not going to get Rudy to speak. He's had to go, so that's unfortunate, but nevertheless, Jeroen, you got any final for the broadcast, and then we'll end it?
Yeah, sure. Well, Race, we pretty much summarized that. I do want to thank Sam Jones as well, though, for doing the camera roll around this track. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I don't have a lot to say anymore. I mean, we have summarized this race pretty well. Luckily that, or we are lucky that we see a different winner other than Daniel Kiss, and I'm very happy that Rens Klopp again is up there, because I do really think that he deserves it, and I'm sure he has put a lot of work into this. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, indeed it is. So thank you everyone for watching. We hope to see you for tomorrow, because we have got the pro race, which is at 1:30 GMT, and then we also have the World Championship race, which is at 4:30 GMT. So hopefully you can join us for that. A lot would be appreciated on the broadcast. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you for round 6 at Austria.